And so I understand the process of what they're doing is for the purpose of breaking me down. Because I'm a target individual. And this is a process used on others. You know, the things that we experience is just so disgusting. And to try to get you to accept this, it takes a lot of clown, some acting. Because you realize, if I can understand this, if I can see this for what it is, and I'm the one just being manipulated day in and day out to be illogical, you can only imagine somebody who's normally just like, he just has the ability to think, sees this and sees outside looking in. I'm like, these people can probably see that in a even more clearer way of, like, it's obvious they're doing something to this person. Like, but of course, like I said, the level how intoxicating it can be to know that you can manipulate a human being like that. You see people walking with different confidence. They tell me something that I'm going to experience. Oh, this is going to happen, huh? And then they walk, and you see that walk changing with that extra confidence. They don't know what the hell's going to happen to them in 2 minutes. They don't know what's going to happen in 3-4 minutes. They just live life every day, and maybe something happens, maybe it doesn't happen. But with you, it's like, hey, your headphones are not gonna work, and then they just walk with this confidence. It's like, oh my gosh, look at this person. He's gonna go to the train. He doesn't know what's gonna happen to him. He doesn't know if maybe something's gonna happen to the train. He doesn't know when, like, if the train's gonna have a problem. But they just told you about something random, like your headphones not gonna work, and start walking with just that confidence. I'm like, this is why you are willing to dumb yourself down. This is why you're willing to do the nastiness that you do. And then, like, now they'll see them, after they do these manipulations. So, for example, I was watching this thing, and there was this little girl, and they immediately do this nasty pedophilia things to you. It's like, oh, you see what mapped is you when you were a kid, and this retardation of ways they want you to think that you should accept that it's not them doing the pedophilia type of torture that are bringing it up all the time. It's like, now they'll see, they're going to cut you down, they're going to see you. It's like, listen, I understand what you're doing. They do these nasty things to you, this pedophilia type of torture, and they tell you how you're going to be tortured. Oh, now you should be identified with these pedophilia things that you don't do to people. So this is constant, non-stop. Right now, as I'm speaking about it, they're playing my genitals to try to make me accept these things. So for me, I'm asking God to give me strength. I have to. Because I'm going to go through some horrible things. Some horrible things, but people have been humiliated. They've been humiliated. Everything I've said before, everything has been said by others. That's the things. Sometimes to annoy them, I say, oh, let me Google what pattern means. Just to let them know, it's like, you have to be this dumb. You have to do this. This is how dumb you have to be. Make yourself. At work, I just go make sure. What is a pattern? Because what I'm trying to say is, they have these tactics that they consistently do to others. Right? I'm working in an environment where they read data and look at any trends and things like. And so all of a sudden, this intellect has to be removed, because why would you start seeing? And let's just say I was working in the pharma world, right? And if people say the same thing over and over about a symptom, you'll be like, okay, something is happening when this is happening, right? You see, these people, and you look at the sample size, you see 1,000 people say the same thing. Maybe out of 998 of them say, we all gain this thing. Why would that me? Now, they have to turn that switch off, whoop, and try to find this, like, now that is what we're doing, right? It's so we're looking at you when you were a kid. Remember when your kid did this, that, and then we're looking at, like, okay, so it's not what this 998 out of 1,000 said, but it's some kind of reaction that you experienced when you were a child that will bring it back as an adult, and it's not what, like, those 998 people are saying. Oh, by the way, another weird consistent pattern here is these governmental entities mapping, there's another ranking. Child Protective Services looked at the network of these entities and ranked those networks as having some of the most child pornography trafficked within the network, not their personal computer, within the network they work for. They were ranked, and they are ranked consistently as a top tier trafficking of child porn. Oh, no. What you guys do is not like what this 998 individuals said out of 1,000, but you are making an individual think the way they would think if they were children. Boop! Retardation mode. Retardation mode. Oh, this is not what people are saying, that they are breaking down the individual where they are saying derogative things and making them experience derogative reactions. They are very disturbingly perverted. Now, they are mapping this person as if they were children. Boop! Retardation mode. Then when they hit that, like, oh, they'll see that, they'll see now, they'll see that. Oh, multiple individual, and they are doing horrible things out of frustrations and disturbingness. Mass shootings, top level mass shooting. Talk about the largest amount of death has been caused by people who were saying things like, my brain is being influenced and manipulated by this radiation technology. I'm no longer myself. I'm being influenced. I'm hearing voices. Those voices are saying derogative things. Boop! Retardation. You understand? And so they want me to let them be boop. And I'm like, nope. Turn it back on. Look at what you're part of. I'm not going to let you escape. You're a nasty bottom feeder. I'm not. You're not going to dumb yourself down. Nope. Reality check. Whatever you falsify, not going to happen, because this technology has this amazing ability to do so much. Not manipulate only your current reaction, but your memories are no longer yours. Everything is changed, because this has a bigger purpose than just trying to make somebody have this disgusting reaction toward children. There's a purpose. You have to understand that target visual. What's going through, as much as it feels like, why this level of evilness? There's a purpose to the level of evilness. There's a true, real purpose that is disturbing, as I have to say it. It's for the progression of this technology. There's a true purpose. As much as they try to create this nasty, but at this cost, at the cost of who we are as individuals, they have to do that to people. But the people that are involved in they'll try to, they want to cope with reality, so they're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna stay so, and they maintain this method acting like, oh my gosh, oh, they make themselves so angry with the things they made themselves, made me react, right? They make themselves so angry. It's like, oh, they're gonna take you out. It's like staying character trash. The day you die, this character's gonna evaporate. There's been like some of them can't even, like, they get mad for me showing the reality. Oh, you're gonna pay me, like trash ass. And they like try to be like, no, and then bring up whatever they can. Like I said, they try to look for whatever they can. For me, they're like, no, but we mapped you, pay for what you did when you were a kid. Try to talk about a dumbass child doing an impulsive retardation things, but they use that to be like, today what you're experiencing is you when you were like a child. Try to hold on to that, to be like, no, you as a, getting closer to 40, we're making you like a child in middle school. Because this level of retardation, you hear these people kill yourself. You know how many people already killed themselves or even caused a mass shooting because of these things? This is how retarded, because boop, this Entities ranking 19th out of 2,900 for trafficking child porn. This ranking given by the Child Protective Services. I said, no, kill yourself. That's we mapped. Trash ass. You gotta be strong. Regardless of what's gonna happen to me, listen, they tell me I'm gonna kill myself. Listen, I wrote a suicide letter before. When this psychological things was happening to me, well, it's still happening to me today. But I was like, I rather die before turning to what they want me, because I'm noticing that what they were doing is not just manipulating me, manipulating my memories, but they're also conditioning your brain. Literally wanting you to become this thing that they're creating. Meaning they want you to that your brain always equates children and sex. They want you to be a pedophile. They are working day in and day out to train your brain to look at children in a sexual way. That is their job right now. And so I was like, I'd rather die before this day comes. But then I started listening to the testimonies of so many target individuals, and I'm like, I can't do that. I cannot. These women has been did for decades. 3 months in, I'm already writing a suicide letter. And I'm listening to this woman. It's like, this has been happening for the last 3 years. This has been happening for 10 years. This has been. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot be this weak. I can't. I will not. I refuse to be this weak. Let me try to stay as long as I can alive. But what would I look like if this woman go even more, dealt with more stuff? Maintain strength for this long, while me 3 months in, because this nasty manipulation in my brain, they forcing me to react. I was like, I'd rather die than deal with this nastiness. Thinking about killing myself. I bought sleeping pills and things. I'm like, because I was like, I'll put a date. I was like, on that date, this is going to happen to me. On that date, I'm going to do that. Found out, thankfully, I didn't go through that. And matter of fact, now I love myself so much more. And you hear this trash talk about pet. I heard the testimonies of what they do to women, to children, how they torture children sexually. This is the trash I get paid for it. Fucking low life. You understand? You understand the anger you can have when you look at some trash. When they're becoming angry, I'm like, you motherfucker, you're suffocating a child, and you try to counter that. Some of them are mothers. That's even more disturbing. You're in the program where they do this to babies? You fucking shit. You have children. You're playing this super mom, and you're involved in a program that does these horrible things to babies? You're a nasty human being. So you can be a great mother, go to your kids and be the best mom ever. Then be involved in a program where you know they even suffocate children. And you know the people that you're involved with, participate in this program, have done these horrible things to children. Even for these people who've done it once, you are involved where the people around you have expertise in doing that, not only that to men, women, but children. And you are there, you just trash us. Because they find these opportunities of enjoying this power. This is not power, but this technology, the ability to be involved in this. You know how they must be. It's so much fun. Can you imagine just like the ability to make somebody experience things, see him being happy, sad, all this emotion, and to the point that you, a mother of children the same age of the children that are being tortured, also no, pay for you what you did in middle school when you're in a program that's out here literally suffocating babies, making 3-week-old kids so sick that they think they're gonna die. But like, nah, I'm gonna ignore all these horrible things they do to baby, but you will pay for it when you were a kid. You trash ass. You fucking low life. Like in my mind, I'm like, you trash. And you see who does that? This little weird fucking low life that want to like act accordingly. I look at them. I remember being at work and I see this person. She thought she could look at me. I'm gonna forget about the reality. At least I have my headphones. I take off my headphones. You can hear me speak about the manipulation. I'm looking at her. Go ahead, act. I'm not going to do anything. Just act. Let me see you. Let me see you. Look at me when you. Who you think? You think that have I forgot what you guys do? I know I'd rather die in the horrible way than try to do what you do. I will not forget what you guys do to women. I will not forget what you guys do to children. I will not forget what you guys do to manipulate people to lose their mind. I will not forget the mass shooting that just killed 18 people. I will not forget this kid, this Zoe kid, talk about why would somebody do that? This is a survivor of the mass shooting. When I see trash, like, look at me, trash. And try to be like, now look at my, you are a piece of shit, you're an opportunist. But I understand, it's fun. You can make me lose my mind, you can do all of that. But you're gonna do that, clearly knowing that I know what you guys are really a part of. And it doesn't take much. I've seen how bottom feeders you guys are, but I know really who's running the show. It's not you guys. So as I'm rotting, because they're doing things to my organs, I reassure you, you will not think that you are any fierce femme fatale. You are just the trash that these governmental entities contract to implement these tactics to break down the target individual. So when you look at me, I'll look at you back and like, I know what you guys do. Look at me then. Do you think I forget what you guys do? Do you think I don't think that you manipulate my brain? There's no torture that's going to change that. Yes, those little girls in my head that you're forcing me to, you think this is, you mapped it? You can't even say Roy Moore. 19th out of 2,900 trash ass. Go ahead. We know who's the pedophiles. Never. And be like, now wait for it, they're going to torture you. Yes, I'll be tortured by people who work for entities that are so pedophilia-centric. So pedophilia-centric that Child Protective Services is ranking them as 19th out of 2,900 in regard to child porn trafficking, you piece of shit. These are the people in my brain that have been doing this pedophilia type of torture for years. But you think you're trash as I'm going to look at you, this radical fan, but the trash you can't even say the name of a pedophile that picked up kids as 14 years old. When they're 14 years old, he's 35. You fucking weak low life. I'm sorry my emotions comes out this strong because it's just like, you've just been too validated. And it'll make sense that the weakest and the most bottom feeders of all will try to get you to think otherwise. And I remember I'm looking at these people now, they mapped it, these people knew it. That's why it's like, yeah, they knew they're going to do the pedophilia type of torture. Since it's like one of the most common way to break people down. Well, you can't even say fucking Roy Moore. And guess what? You see how God works? All along, the real threat of children were the entities that are mapping. You know, sometimes they use a very childlike mind. I think this person was trying to annoy me. But she was like, now we fire these people. Because a few of these CIA agents, a few of those DOD employees were fired or whatever. But most of them, nothing happened to them, right? And she was like, oh, we fired them all. I was like, yeah, okay. You think this ranking of 19 out of 2,900 means that because they fired 3 or 4 individuals, that ranking is over? That there's the trash us. There's thousands of pedophiles in these agencies. Thousands. It's crazy. Did you hear of a large layout of thousands of DOD employees? Hell no. Trash. This is crazy. But for them to try, like, now we reform. We reform what? The only thing that this bill that passed, you know what that bill's supposed to do? Is to try to limit the amount of child porn these DOD employees are downloading using specifically. Let me repeat that. Using the computers that are provided to them by these DOD entities, by these DOD agencies, by Pentagon. Because this is where they were downloading child porn. Not their own personal computers. No. The ones the government were giving to them. You know, the government, they were using those computers. just to show you how comfortable they were. Imagine just regular porn. Just regular porn, right? Not this disturbing child porn. Regular porn on Spank Bank, on Xvideo. What? Imagine using your computer from work to download videos from Pornhub, Xvideo, Spank Bank. Just to try to prove. Imagine. You see how crazy it would be for you? Let's just say you don't even work for the government. Just regular. Go to your. You work for a IBM. With IBM computer, you go on xvideo.com. You go on spankbank.com. There, you download just regular porn. You'll be like, no, that's crazy. No. Now imagine these people not only go on their government computers to download porn, but child porn. And traffic and share it with other people. This is how comfortable they are with pedophilia. The level of craziness to even try to process this is crazy. Those are the people in your brain now. It matters you when you're a kid, and then your brain flipping things, making you imagine seeing a kid and feeling the sensation, stimulations, and they were doing this thing where they make me think being a father, and they make me think a child, a girl who's like 7, 8, like me holding a girl and her legs around me, and like me holding my child, quote unquote, but give me stimulation and sensations, like imagine feeling like that and do this, like yeah. And you hear the noise campaign because I'm supposed to accept these manipulations. And the entities who are working with these programs and running this program have so much problem with child pornography, with the people using their own computers from government to download child porn. In your brain, manipulating your brain to have these reactions, which they have done that to so many others. They have tactics that are specifically meant to torment the target individual, and they use this nasty pedophilia type of torture, which they implant false personality in people's brain. They alter the mind in these disgusting ways to torment and break down the target individual, to break their ego down. And this is coming from people who have this kind of issues. It's crazy. And then this, you see, of course, they like to use childlike-minded people because you say, like I keep saying, intellect has to be turned off. Who has this, like, who's already on like that level of spectrum already? Children-minded people. Then when you see grown-ass women and men doing that, you're like, oh my gosh, look at you. Then you find out this program does horrible things. These poor mothers with children all of a sudden have forced stimulation toward children. Imagine you've been raising kids all your life. You have kids that are grown now, and all of a sudden you look at a child, you get stimulations. They've been doing that. There's testimony. Starting with this program perversion toward these dogs, then aiming toward children. It's crazy. This noise campaign, I don't know if it's, but they try to disorient you. But they do these nasty things to torment you. I'm just letting this noise campaign end a little bit. I don't know if this is an actual noise campaign to mess with me. Sometimes they do like noise campaign like that because this is the whole ecosystem is involved. Fire, the fireman, the ambulances, cops. They do this thing all the time, where they make noise campaign. But sometimes it's actually things happening because we are in New York, and this things actual reality happens in New York. But you are supposed to accept these things, and they're like, now we proved this. Like, listen, it's just so much validation. It's just so much. And you hear this trash. It's like, now we proved it. It's like, prove by saying this first and last name of that man. Okay, you can't say that, right? the proof that we have, the validation that we have, are so magical. They are so surreal. It's just something when they try to erase that. But when you listen to a woman saying, the program perversion aimed toward children, like I said, this woman raised children. Matter of fact, her children were also targeted because it's her children. They were like hurting her kids to break her down. It's part of the breakdown too. Then they start changing kind of the tactics. Start now making her have sexual stimulations. And this sexual stimulation started off with her pets. She was petting her dog. Started feeling something. She started laughing. She's like, "You guys are crazy. Like, you guys are nasty." I'm not, she can continue to do that. But that's changed. They shifted. The stimulation that she was getting started being aimed toward people. And guess what? What kind of people? Oh, yes, children. Children were children. They aimed the stimulation toward children. So, for me, it's been trying to make you accept this manipulation where in my head right now, they try to go into like a memory where they falsify reality, give me like a sexual stimulation. So, so sad. And they try to get you to accept these things. For me, it's just, listen, be strong, be strong. They're going to do their best to try to break you down. And the reason why I make videos is, as I'm losing who I am, I've got to put things in perspective. Right now they're bringing up what they do is like they try to find ways to change the notion of self. They have to go into your memory and play with your memories and play around with your memories. Yesterday or the day before, they tried to make me have this false version of like what happened when I was going to the gym, and there was this before August 19, 2019. I'll always say that date because that's the day my brain hasn't been the same. And then yesterday they were trying to change the memory of like when there was like this 13-year-old like teenage boy, this black kid, that was just on his phone and like posted, and I'm like, what's going on here? Obviously, you at that point you knew something's going on. It's like, why is this kid just like chilling there? It's like it looked weird, and I'm looking at it, it's like, are they really? Look, he's serious. And I'm looking at this kid up and down. They're giving me a sensation that's falsified, but I'm looking at it, like, this is the kid. And at that point, it's like, I'm not even like, there's no way they can even try to create this false narrative. Of course they did this. This woman comes out, like, he's too young for you. It's like, really? So you think this is a 13-year-old kid? That's a 13-year-old boy that'll be interested in this 13-year-old boy. Like, I want to be with with a kid, like a 13-year-old. Like, that's me, right? You delusional trash. And now today it's kind of weird because they do these things toward girls. It's like even the narrative and the storylines are just so confusing. You hear the nurse campaign, he's trying to box in this retardation. This is part of how they try to make you accept these things. You hear this, they try to get you to accept this manipulation. That's how compromised they are. Humiliated. This person is talking to me. Because he wants me to accept that this 13-year-old boy is me. Now that you were interested in the pink base scene. They sold this soul to pedophiles. While these people are ranked by Child Protective Services, 19 out of 2,900. You hear this officer, whatever it is, try to counter reality. That's why you have to find dignity. You have to find dignity. Because you could have been one of these bottom feeders. Try to convince you into a false memory. Because you are validated to the nth degree. And this ecosystem around you is supposed to make you believe this nastiness. It's so nasty. They tell me how you're going to fight. It's like, yes, officer, you just sold your soul to pedophiles. And you know that this program is supposed to make me accept these nasty pedophilia things that you do to others. And the entities, the fate has shown that entities working this program actually are the pedos. Guess why? Because Child Protective Services have ranked them as the top pedos in this fucking country in regard to trafficking child porn. So for me, they've been trying to look at how they can manipulate memories and create memories. And that memory of me walking to the gym and seeing this kid and look, and by the way, this guy was saying I'll walk because they're gonna handicap me. They handicap even women. They've done horrible things to women. But as I was walking to the gym, seeing this kid, This teenage 13-year-old, not even like 13, barely a teenager, posted there. Me looking at this kid, you delusional trash. They forcing me stimulation. I'm like, wow. They're changing the memory and try to make it sexual. But it even ruins their own narrative because now what they're doing to me, like I said, is toward kids, girls. They try to make me say something else. Girls. So, oh, no only, and they call me Yo Robert, like R. Kelly. So I'm the gay R. Kelly. Trash us. I rather rot in hell than flourish in pedo heaven. And you heard this noise campaign to try to box in this nastiness. Because they're so compromised. The mass shooting that just happened 5 months ago killed 18 people. That man killed even a child who was 14 years old. And there's a 10-year-old saying, why would people do that? And she's funny because she has this like weird speech thing. Why are people like that? And you hear this fucking trash contracted by these governmental entities. Because the police, this is governmental, like top tier governmental entities doing that. And he's trying to make me, he's like, now you're right. Yes, I rather right in hell. There's honor in this death. Trash. I could have been like there, trying to box in this retardation. No, you're right. Yeah, you walked, you trash. You can't even say Roy Moore. A cop can't even say that. Tell my target, stay strong. This is dignity.